Let's take a look at the chart action for Ethereum. Okay, so here's what I was watching on this chart. We had a triangle pattern, something like this, and we broke it going to the downside. Ever since we broke this trend line going down, I've been watching the previous bottoms. I set up limit orders at these spots right here. These levels are sitting around 2,593, 2,370, 2,168. Those are the first three that I was watching. We pretty much hit the first two, and it looks like we got a bounce on that second one. So what I'm looking at now is, if we go ahead and zoom in, let's go to the 1 hour time frame as well. We had resistance right here, and resistance right here. I was watching this trend line right here for resistance, possibly to get rejected, or if we break through it, a possible breakout. The other thing I'm looking at right now is we have support right here and support right here. Let's go ahead and do an uptrend, something like this. Let's go switch over to the 4 hour time frame though. We have support. Let's set that trend line up, something like this. If we break this trend line going to the downside, let's set it up correctly. If we break this trend line going to the downside, it could possibly be a bearish signal that we're heading down a little bit further. We might be able to come back down and touch this bottom again, or maybe come back down and touch this support. But if we break this trend line, then it might be a signal that we might be heading down a little bit, or that we might have gotten rejected on this trend line. I think if we could break this trend line, this level is sitting around 2,745 approximately. If we could break that level right there going to the upside, then that will be a bullish signal. And let's go ahead and just delete everything, and so we can make it a little bit more clear, because I was watching this resistance like this. So let's say we break this trend line right here, something like that. If we could break this trend line pushing up, then maybe we could come up and hit this spot, and this spot is sitting at around 3,181 approximately. Like I said, I'm watching this on the 4 hour time frame, and I'm watching this uptrend like this. Let's see how far this uptrend can take us if we could break through and start coming up to these levels, or if we get resistance and start coming back down, and maybe we'll have to look at the previous bottoms again. Alright, so let's talk about the moving averages real quick. We have this moving average right here. We broke above that moving average going to the upside, and we're getting support on it, which is a good sign. The next thing we want to look for is the daily time frame. Let's see how we're doing on the daily 9 moving average. We have this line right here. It looks like we're cracking it right now, but it looks like we are kind of having a little bit of trouble with it. What I want to see us do is break above this daily 9 moving average, close this candle, get another candle pushing to the upside. Then we could get more confident on looking at the previous resistance line or previous resistances in general. This top right here is sitting around 3,260, but like I said, we might have to come up to and hit this trend line first at around 3,100 approximately before we can go higher. If we could break above this daily 9 moving average, the next thing that I'll be looking at as far as the moving averages go is the weekly moving average. So we have the weekly, we're on the weekly time frame right now, and we have this 9 moving average right here. We're getting resistance every time we're coming up and hitting it. So what I want to see us do is break above it. I think that'll be a good signal. The next good signal would be closing above it and getting the next candle green and pushing to the upside, and actually mainly just getting support on it and not breaking back through it. What I want to see us do is break above it, stay above it, and get support on it and push up, as opposed to breaking below it, getting resistance on it, and getting pushed down by it. I think the main thing that I'm watching right now is the 4 hour time frame and this resistance trend line like this. If we could break above that, that'll be a good signal. And then the other thing, like I was saying, is the 4 hour time frame trend line pushing to the upside. If we break this going down, I'll be maybe looking at around 2,500 approximately, and then we have this bottom down here at around 2,300. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys like Ethereum, hit that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to trading, check out these videos right here. One of them is about trading strategies, and I go more into detail about how I go about buying and selling. And then another one is about the moving averages. I talked about moving averages in this video, but I go more into detail in this one. Alright, if you guys like that video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.